Well, there's a couple of routes we can go. One, you can just get him on the phone and go, hey, Bill, is that what you call him, Bill or William?
Yeah, no, he goes by Bill.
Hey, Bill, talk to a friend of mine, and then I'll take it right from there. He knows you're on the line, or you can start him. Bill, these SEAL claims are becoming a real problem between us. I know it's not true, and however, and let him start on a roll, and then expect me to interrupt. However you want to do it, but
we could try it like that. I think that's the route to go. Is I'm going to come to him with, "Hey, man, I want to believe you," because he's just so. Earlier today, I'm like, "Admit you're a liar." He's like, "I'll never admit that. That's not a lie. I was a SEAL." Okay, what's the minimum dive distance or some bullshit question? He's like, "Oh, I don't remember that. That's 20 years ago." So he's, But let me try. You'll know when you'll know when to chime in. So let me see if I can get him on. Are you ready?
yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Listen, dude, I just want to put this behind us, man.
Dude, I've been wanting that for I don't even know how long, dude.
Right. I want to believe you, dude.
Okay, let me ask you a question, and maybe this can sum it up for both of us. You and me, we've gone shoulder to shoulder. We've gone out of state a couple times and made numerous arrests together, shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. What's another word for valor, Will?
For valor?
Yeah, what's another word for it? You can use it.
Heroism,
bravery, I would say.
Uh-huh.
And ever one time, dude, have you ever seen me steal bravery?
No, man, not at all.
I would ask you to rest your laurels on that and judge me for this career that we're in. I dealt with this for 28 years ago, dude, and never has anybody had to bother me about it until you. And what makes me madder than anything is a person that I brought in twice was under my wing. That's what bothers me the most, And so if you can look at that and go forward with me, the sky's the limit.
I don't know, man. It's just that I feel like I needed a little more than that to believe it, dude. Well, I'm trying, but I don't know.
You've worked with me a lot, my man. If I was not a former SEAL and I was out there pumping my agenda, trying to get benefits, trying to do some stuff for myself, I could understand you, even anyone, being upset. But that's the farthest thing from the truth of who I am and what's made me who I am today.
But you tell people you were a SEAL all the time.
The only time I've ever said that I'm a SEAL, I've told a handful of people that I work with, like you. But as far as any other time ever, it's when I was asked directly. I say I'm former Special Forces. And then if they ask me directly, it's like being in a gang. I'm not going to deny it at that point.
Yeah.
You understand? But I have followed my end of the agreement. I've never put it on a job application. I've never used it for my benefit. I've never done a book or movie. I've followed my end of the agreement. Matter of fact, Will, I could go and apply and get an honorable discharge. But because I didn't hold up my end of the contract like a lot of other men and women, I don't. So I don't accept. I'm given a general discharge, and I accept that. I'm not going to try to make it better. So am I proud of who I am and what I've been through? Yeah, I'm proud of it, but it's a personal pride. You've seen me, dude. I bring it up in interviews when I'm trying to not look like the establishment when I'm interviewing somebody. Trying to break away from the norm that people think of when they think of Leo or the establishment.
But then why? The thing that gets me, dude, is that Army record thing, bro.
Is what?
The Army record thing, dude. The 21 days, bro.
I went in there first, dude. I had a family emergency. I didn't want to go, but I had to. And I had the option in 2 years to either apply for an honorable for that or do a waiver and go back in the military.
And what made you switch from Army to Navy?
90.
90. What do you mean?
1990. Two
No,
years
I'm
after
saying
my,
what made you
closer to 4 years after my discharge. What made me?
Yeah,
I saw a training clip and realized it was more of what I wanted to do than the Army could provide. So, trust me, my dad and my dad's father that you keep bringing up, we went head to head about it. Him being career Army, we went head to head about it for a long time, dudes. So, anyway, Will, I've tried to get to know you as a person, and you have this problem with me, but you have a problem with a lot of other people, dude.
I know. Would you be willing to talk to a friend of mine about it, just to help me put it to rest?
No, I would ask you. I would ask.
He's on with me right now.
Listen, I would ask you to put to rest.
Don, do you want to talk to Bill real quick?
Well, he's your friend, but he's my friend also, because if he was a SEAL in the 90s and stationed at Team 2, we would have served together. But, Bill, I don't remember you, bro.
Okay. Well, I'm not
you were
going to
Team
discuss
2,
this
Bill?
for Will's edification. If I talk to you sometime in the future, sir, and I have all appreciation for what you do.
Don,
and for your record.
Bill, I'll hang up. I'll hang up so you can talk to Don, dude. I'll hang up.
I just got it. Let me clear the air with this guy down here. He seems to be up your nose, Will, about this thing. It doesn't seem like he's going to let it go. What was your buds class?
I'm not going to discuss it with Will, my man. Anyway, hold on. I don't know this person on the other end of the phone. If I meet you sometime in person, feel free to talk about anything with you.
Let me just tell you, Will.
I just had a tooth extracted, and I'm a little loopy right now. So,
well, let me just tell you what I'm going to do when we hang up here. If you don't help me out, I'm going to send this all your stuff, all these claims, all these records to military phonies, and they're going to post it up. I'm going to send it to This Ain't Hell.
What claims, sir? What claims?
All those tattoos you got, all the pictures, all the claims of Team 2, Team 7. You just said you were a SEAL. Now I'm going to send it to This Ain't Hell. And they're going to blast you for all those people. You're going up on Google. Then you're going up on my stuff.
Do you know if I've made any claims?
Yeah. Were you a SEAL, Will?
First of all, I'm not going to discuss this with this gentleman.
SEAL,
you do not know this gentleman.
Well, clear it up for him.
You just said it's a gang. You just said it's a gang. That if somebody asks you, you can't deny it. So he's asking you, were you a SEAL?
Dude, I'm not in person with this man.
But you just
I
said that if somebody
told
asks
you,
you're not going to deny it.
Listen,
and now
I told
he's
you, Will.
asking you, and you're not.
I'm having. Listen, for someone like you that I've given everything to and helped come into this business that we do, that we risk our lives every day as well.
This isn't company.
No, it's all about the person.
Right. This is personal between you and me.
Yeah, it is, because you've never one time seen me claim to anyone else other than if I was asked directly about it. I don't benefit from this.
He's asking you directly, and now you're not saying it.
To sneakily go around and try to put me in a position, I'm not going to allow that, dude. Not for you.
All right, Will.
With all due respect.
Hey, Will. You stay out of this for a second, bro.
Bill.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Bill. What was the buds class, bro?
He hung up, Don.
Yeah.
He hung up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was
You see, what I wanted to let him hang himself a little bit so you can hear his claims and his bullshit. And so, and you see where he takes it right away. He always tries to come with this, like he's such a great guy. Oh, I helped you get this job or this or that. He didn't help me get shit. The company called me and asked me to come because you told them about me. And they called me, they interviewed me, and they asked me to come. I didn't ask anybody to get me this job, so.
Okay, so let's go over this while I got you on there, since that's out and I'm getting posted and blasted. And you guys, apprehend fugitives?
Yeah, we're fugitive recovery agents.
Yeah, and you started to notice something about this guy, about his capabilities, about weapons handling, doing dangerous shit.
Something you can't when you put handcuffs and shackles on somebody backwards, I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, you know.
And so he started in with these SEAL claims.
Yeah.
The favorite one I have here
Go ahead.
is, see, that really got him when he said he was a SEAL in the 90s, because I was at Team 2. He claims Team 2, but you say he represents himself as Team 7. Because
So here's how it works. He's one of these evolving phonies. So whenever I call him on something, so he was Team 7. I called him on Team 7, said they weren't formed till the mid-2000s or whatever when I looked it up. I said, that's bullshit because you weren't in the Navy then, you said. Then he says, well, I was really Team 2. I represent Team 7 because they're all for Christians and Jews and Muslim SEALs, and I'm a Christian SEAL, and I was persecuted as a Christian SEAL.
So he claims that Team 7 is a team comprised of Jews, Christian, and Muslims that have been disowned from the SEAL community for their religious beliefs, so he thrust them all into a team like the Dirty Dozen or something. So he claims that we've lumped them all in there together. That's just part of what Spec War does. You know, if you don't get along, we put you in a special team. And that's a good one. His call sign is Oakley H.
Yeah.
I saw him wearing
an
Oakley.
Tattooed on his leg.
I wonder what that's about.
Oakley-H tattooed on his left thigh. He's got USN on his left hand and SEAL on his right hand, on the side of his hand, right down the side there by your pinky finger.
Yeah, I think you sent me a picture of that.
Yeah, well, he's got the trident on
Well,
his,
if he's not telling anybody he's a SEAL, or it never comes up, he thinks that trident tattooed in his, or that SEAL tattooed in his hand doesn't stick out like a boner in a Speedo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then the left side of his, over his heart, is the mural of him and his dad clearing a house while he was a SEAL and his dad was Army. So, and he tells everybody he's a SEAL. He dumbed it down in that phone call. He is so happy to show the only tattoo that matters, which is the one on his hand that says SEAL, that he shows to the cops when we're booking people in the jail and stuff like that. He's just so happy to tell everyone he's Special Forces in the Navy, and then, I was a SEAL. And then you heard him, it's a gang, you can't deny it. Well, then when you asked him, he didn't want to answer. So,
he said it. He said it. So, I'd like to, he's making a lot of trouble for you down there and the other guys.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous job, and when he's not, supposed to be there in the first place, I'm sure he got that based off his background, no matter what the fuck he says, because he lies about everything.
Yeah. I think he was, he worked for my agency, was trained by a guy who I believe had an actual SF background. I don't know much about the guy, but I think he had some type of military background. The guy retired. He took his place. He learned everything he learned from that guy. But aside from being a loss prevention store security guard and a PI, he doesn't have any military training at all, aside from his 21 days in the Army. And it shows.
That was the next thing. We pulled his military records, and they came back as he served 21 whole days in the United States Army in 86. So, he just mentioned this general discharge. He did something. And that is a fact. He got a general discharge. It probably was from crying for his mama, and they kicked him out. But pretty hard to get in any serious trouble in boot camp or anything like that. That's certainly possible. But the only truth in any of that is that he got that shitty discharge. He can't upgrade it to an honorable. And that's what he's ashamed of. That's why he is claiming all this SEAL. And now when you get him, I sent you the letter of verification stating he was never a SEAL. We pulled his military records, and it shows him 21 days in the Army, and then you went the extra step to contact Warcom, and a SEAL I served with, Captain Tinsley.
Who he said is just some college graduated guy who wouldn't have known him 20 years ago and doesn't know what he's talking about.
Tinsley went through buds before I did. He's an enlisted guy turned officer. He's the chief staff officer out there, a full bird captain. And everybody knows Captain Tinsley. And now he's falling back on a Navy confidentiality agreement that we know has been forged, because there isn't been such a thing for anything like he did. He pulled that out of there, but it's just to get the bosses off of his ass, because you guys are riding him hard. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Me and my partner don't buy his bullshit, and my partner stays a little more quiet about it than I do, but, you know, that same girl who pulled his records went and pulled my grandfather's records, who launched fighter jets off Navy ships, and my great-grandfather's records, who fought in World War I and World War II. So if she can find those, I think she could find his naval records that he claims are confidential. I mean, you know, I've got family that served, I got friends that served, you served, I appreciate your service. You know, your son served, you know, your wife served, I appreciate all that. And for him to walk around and claim he's got a bullet in his back, he was shot in the back, he's got a bullet, they won't remove the bullet because it's too close to his spine, and that he's got stitches in his hand where he grabbed the blade of a knife and took it out of a guy's hand and then snapped his elbow and broke his arm in half in a hand-to-hand combat fight. He's big into Chinese boxing and all this martial arts crap, martial arts. Of course, he's a martial arts instructor as well. So
Okay, well, I think I'll get you off of here, but the biggest thing about all this, and I see it really frequently, is the religious phonies.
yeah,
He claims to be highly, highly religious. He talks about the seal of God. You say when he arrests guys, he just gives them a lecture in religion in the back of the van as you're hauling him to jail, and about all his SEAL experience. And we see this all the time, too. There's a couple of kinds of phonies I can't fucking stand. And number two is a religious phony. Because, I appreciate the devoutness and dedication in some people, that they have. And part of that is thou shalt not lie and shit like that. And those religious phonies just absolutely burn me up. That guy is such a lying son of a bitch. But that's how he gets the story to even go over further, is how godly and religious he is. Oh, he'd never tell a lie. He's a religious phony SEAL. Okay, I'm going to blast his fucking ass, is what I'm going to do.
blast him. Put him on Extreme Seal. I'm a member. I look forward to watching it. Put it on hell, whatever site you said. Put him out there. Let everybody know. So he's a piece of crap. That's what he deserves.
Okay.
So,
All
I
right.
appreciate it, Don. Have a good one, sir.
You too, bro. Bye.
All right.
I really fucking hate those religious fucking phonies. There's just something wrong with some of them. Mentally. Joe Cryer's a classic example. Joe Cryer is fucking absolutely insane and just claims about his deep religious stuff and will lie and lie and fucking lie and fucking lie. He is a walking lie. This guy's a fucking walking lie. As much respect as I try to have for people, I don't trust people that are real religious like that, because I don't know. With my experience of dealing with these phonies, I don't know who's lying to me or not. You'd like to believe religious guys, but when they tell you that, and you can't with 99% of them, you just don't know when that 1% is going to come up and just fucking lie and lie and lie and lie. Bam. I did, and all my friends did, and I'm not about to let you go down there and falsely impersonate one of us. We've had enough of you guys.
I'm not trying to do that, sir. I promise before you that I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah. Anything else?
Okay. No, sir. I would like to ask a favor.